Hello and welcome to the Elite Academy of Sports Psychology. My name is Arman Akbarzadeh and I will be your workshop leader today. Today, our workshop is intended for athletes, sports teams, coaches, parents, athletic trainers, and any other sports medicine personnel. This workshop emphasizes on performance outcomes, skills, and knowledge required to enable trainers, coaches, and fitness professionals to support their clients or athletes to apply the principles of sports psychology to their specific sport. It is intended for those who wish to strengthen the power of the mind to perform with greater confidence, consistency, and at the upper ranges of their potential. The workshop will also emphasize the enhancement of psychological skills such as gaining and maintaining confidence in one's abilities. Time will often be spent helping individuals recognize and effectively utilize personal strengths. Overall, we will review somewhat specific techniques to help athletes master the mental element of competitive sport and improve performance to the best of their ability and health. Participants will learn the application and evaluation of psychological approaches to optimize their performance. Now, before we move on, I want to know what population of people in this room have suffered or seen someone they know suffer from athlete mental health. Today, we will be helping you gain a better understanding on topics related to mindset training techniques and how to improve an athlete's mental health by going over stress management, health and wellness, goal setting and building confidence, and importance of leadership development and communication skills. Stress is defined as a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. There are two types of stress models that typically have an effect in athletics. The first one is a stress model, which demonstrates what factors affect stress in sport. Stress can affect performance, the way an athlete responds to the stress can affect it, and the management of stress can negatively or positively affect the athlete's stress level. The stress response process consists of 5 stages. Stage 1 is the environmental demand. Stage 2 is the athlete's perception of the environmental demand. Stage 3 is the stress response to environmental demand. Stage 4 is the behavioral consequence of the stress response to the behavioral demand. And stage 5 is a return to a homeostatic position. Although stress is impossible to avoid, it can be managed. A certain amount of stress is actually useful to the athlete. This is known as good stress. This is a type of stress which helps us focus as well as allows us to perform with more energy. The study of stress in sport lies within the realm of sports psychology. There are many disorders which are related to stress. These disorders include OCD, depression, and PTSD. Stress can be manifested in sports with OCD because the athlete will become so obsessed with their traditions, whether it is the number of times they must make a free throw or juggle the ball. If the athlete does not do the correct number, they will become stressed and will consume their thoughts until they go and correct it. Depression can also cause an athlete to become stressed and vice versa. They will begin to focus only on that and soon not find pleasure in their normal everyday activities. This will eventually end up as a snowball effect and continue to get worse unless treated. PTSD is not usually a disorder that affects athletes, but sometimes it may, especially after a serious injury. An example of this could be a basketball player who is coming back from a torn ACL who is replaying his or her injury in their heads to the point where they can't imagine jumping for a rebound or running down the court for a fast break ever again. PTSD is a very serious condition and that can lead to further problems such as retirement, contemplation, mental health issues, and more. This is a condition not to be taken lightly, and if the athlete is showing any signs of PTSD, they should be referred to a counseling center in order to get proper treatment. According to Carly Fullerton, there are 7 categories in which an athlete may experience stress. These categories are affective, behavioral, biological or physiological, cognitive, imaginal, interpersonal, and sensory. At work or in life, everyone experiences stress, and that goes double for athletes. Not only do athletes have to worry about lifestyle and emotional stress, they also have to worry about training and competition stress. While an athlete can handle stress better than a non-athlete because he or she is trained to handle pressure, overtraining, or competing too much ruin years of hard work. Athletes must be very careful to achieve a good balance by maintaining a high level of fitness without going over their physical, mental limits. While managing training stress, a big mistake that athletes make is they train too hard and too fast. Instead, training should be gradually progressive. Compared to competition stress, if an athlete finds competition stressful, he or she shouldn't avoid it. They should just select it more carefully. You'll have more success if you play in a competition so that challenge increases each time out. Looking at this with everyday stress, an athlete who is moving, breaking up with a partner, or going through other life-changing events will experience stress, which will have an effect on performance. Since there is no way to really get rid of the stress, the best way to combat it is to cut down the stress in other areas. If lifestyle stress is high, cut down on competition and see training as a therapy. Do only as much as makes you feel good. Finally, an athlete should seek help in trying to cope with stress. These are the 5 listed ways an athlete can help in the coping process: physical demands, psychological demands, environmental demands, expectations, and pressure. Physical demands suggest rational thinking, pre-competition, mental preparation, changing to healthy acting attitudes and behavior, and training hard and smart. Psychological demands suggest they use pre-competition and mental preparation, management, and positive focus. Environmental demands do not have many coping mechanisms, but time management and prioritization prioritization were some of the few. High expectations and pressure are ways that athletes to perform at the highest standard include a positive focus and orientation, rational thinking, positive self-talk, and social support. Before moving on, I want to know, is there such thing as good stress? And if so, what is it? In sports, goal setting is a positive method of maintaining motivation, also improving self-efficacy levels within athletes. Those who strive to achieve goals are more likely to be successful, and upon completing the goals will feel encouraged and so much more motivated and use the feelings of success to boost confidence. Today, we will look at what SMART goals are and how athletes can use them to achieve objectives. SMART is an acronym that is used to help guide in goal setting. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Starting with specific, an athlete's goal should be clear and set up. When drafting a goal, an athlete will ask themselves questions such as, what do I want to accomplish and why is this goal important? An example of this is a soccer player who would like to become the captain of the team. A specific goal that player could use is, I want to gain the skills and experience necessary to become captain within my team so that I can lead them to success. For the M, it's important to have measurable goals so that you can track your progress and stay motivated. The A stands for achievable. In this model, an athlete should ask themselves, how can I accomplish this goal? When setting an achievable goal, you may also be able to identify previously overlooked opportunities or resources that can bring you closer to it. The realistic step is about ensuring that a goal that matters to you and that is also aligns with other relevant goals. Unrealistic goals usually result in poor performance and usually stem from low self-confidence and high anxiety levels. Finally, the timely phase. Every goal needs a target date so that a deadline is set to focus on and something to work toward. This part of the SMART goal criteria helps to prevent everyday tasks from taking priority over any longer-term goals. In sports psychology, there are 3 types of goals: process goals, performance goals, and outcome goals. Process goals are the goals of executing the actual training process it takes to improve your performance in sports. An example may include making it to the basketball court at least 4 times per week before a league 3-on-3 tournament. Performance goals are goals that track your improvement in the sport. They are benchmarks for your continued ascension. Some examples are being able to average at least 20 points per game against your usual practice squad, or getting full range of motion in your arm by the end of the month's physical therapy session. Lastly are outcome goals. These are the goals that keep you focused on the big picture. They are the result of successful application of process and performance goals. Examples include winning the league basketball tournament or gaining full motion in your arm. Self-confidence is a belief in one's capabilities to organize and execute course of action required to produce given attainments. Confidence is the number 1 mental skill that an athlete must possess to be successful in sports and life. With prime confidence, you are able to stay confident even when you're not performing well. This keeps an athlete positive, motivated, intense, focused, and emotionally in control when needed. And it enables performance to be at the highest level consistently. Gibbs believes that if you do the right thing, you will be successful by demonstrating faith in one's ability and preparation. Athletes tend to lose confidence when anything that counters belief in their ability to achieve goals gets in the way. Failure is the biggest disruption. Failure can mean making a mistake in competition. It can also mean having poor results in recent competitions. There is nothing more harmful to confidence than failure because it provides evidence that any confidence you have justified is overlooked. One mistake that athletes often make is they wait to do mental training after they've lost confidence. Instead, an athlete needs to do this beforehand to prevent the problems. The same thing holds true for building confidence. According to John Taylor, there are 4 key ways in building confidence. The first is walk the walk. How you carry yourself, move, and walk affects what you think and how you feel. If your body is down, your thoughts and feelings will be negative, and you'll look and move like a downer. If your body is up, your thoughts and feelings will be positive. This results in you moving and looking like a winner. This is followed up by talk the talk. What you say to yourself affects what you think and how you feel. If your talk is negative, your thoughts and feelings will be negative. If your talk is positive, your thoughts and feelings will be positive. It's hard to think and feel negative when you're talking positively. Thirdly is balance the scales. In most cases, athletes say or do negative things in competition rather than positive. The immediate goal is to increase the positives. Lastly, we have thought stopping. If you're always thinking negatively, then you will likely fail. Another useful technique to reduce your negative thinking and develop your positive thinking is called thought stopping. This strategy involves replacing your negative self-talk with positive self-talk. This will help you become aware of the situations in which you are most likely to be negative and list positive statements with which you can replace them. Before moving on, can you name the 3 types of goal types and list an example of each? Development skills. Leadership among sports is the behavioral process of influencing individuals and groups towards set skills. The premier sports psychology has listed the following qualities that seem to characterize a good, dependable leader. Problem solving are leaders, and they immediately begin processing the best solutions. Whether it's the sports, business, or personal life, conflict is a realistic part of everyday lives, and instead of shying away from adversity, leaders prepare for it. In expertise, the knowledge and experience to reassure those around you for whatever situation presents itself, you will have a proper response. With personality, there are many factors. However, it is common that a leader has a powerful personality, having empathy, loyalty, and selflessness. Among other things, in order to be a leader, you must be leading a group of people. In this respect, caring about a group of people outside of yourself is a necessity. Motivation describes leaders who want to make a difference and will find initiative to do so. Lastly is vision. Similar to confidence that we spoke about earlier, leaders believe in what they are trying to accomplish. Oftentimes, their visions are clear, and other times, the end result is clear. According to Weinberg, there are 2 leadership styles, democratic and autocratic. As you might expect, the coach with a democratic style is typically athlete-centered and cooperative and relationship-oriented. Conversely, the autocratic style is usually win-oriented, tightly structured, and task-oriented. To help garner understanding, there are 3 types of athletic leadership. The formal athlete leader represents a role that is prescribed by another individual within the group or sport organization, usually a member of the coaching staff. Conversely, an informal athlete leader emerges as a function of group interaction, distinct group needs, and the personality traits of an individual leader. This type of athlete leader acts in a way that often complements the style of established leader within the group. A team-level leader is more influential and is identified as an athlete leader by the majority of the team. Examples include veteran players who provide valuable advice to all members of a group at different times. Lastly, a peer-level leader. These are the leaders that are represented by those who are identified by a lower percentage of the team. Communication is a key in any setting. It allows for honesty and transparency among the athletic community and helps identify ways in which an athlete, coach, trainer, or any other personnel can improve personal communication as well as interpretation of other athletic community members. Before moving on, can you list some qualities of a proven leader? Before going home today, I hope you have all gained a better understanding on topics related to mindset training techniques and athlete mental health. Remember, the importance of mental health in athletes is very important, and reminding yourself of the proper ways to deal with it. Begin to build confidence for yourself and set goals to help achieve targets. And finally, become a leader and allow for your voice to be heard and throughout your team peers. What applications have you taken away from this workshop that you feel like will be most beneficial to you? In conclusion, I hope everybody has taken away how to properly deal with or help someone else deal with psychological factors in sports. Each factor must be utilized, controlled, and improved to be beneficial, and different levels of work better for different athletes, and the balance of all 3 is vital for success, especially at an elite level. Thank you for coming to my workshop. I hope you have a great day.